Internet. My name is Jamwa, and thank you for joining us once again in the lobby. This week we're talking all about television, and to do the talking we have our fabulous guests from the Bazura project and Cinemaviscera. We have Paul and Tim.
Hello.
How you doing?
Happy to be here. Everything's checking, good?
Absolutely.
Very
Awesome.
excited.
Ready to
Fantastic.
throw down.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Cool. And joining them as always, we have our regulars of, well, actually not regulars because Will couldn't make it. So we have Liam and Kyle from Space Meat and Can Geek Podcast and cangeek.com and all things geek and canned.
As usual, awesome to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Sweet. Cool. You're a filler, but you'll do.
New blood.
This week we're talking all about television, as I said. And as usual, the format of the show is that we're going to have a discussion topic and then a quiz and then a bit of a debate. And we're going to be adding points for correct answers and well-made points and subtracting points for rambling and straying too far off topic. So,
As we plan on doing.
yes.
I'm in
One
severe
of those-
danger.
as we're famous for in the lobby here.
Yes.
Lowest negative score wins.
Yeah,
Closest
something
to-
like that.
Like golf.
Closest to zero or above. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to open with a discussion topic this week on-demand versus scheduled, old-fashioned, good old mum-and-pop TV. Well, what? I mean, scheduled TV is dying,
Yes.
essentially.
Way of the dinosaur.
Yeah, but do you think this is due to what? Piracy or just the prevalence of the internet?
I think
now,
it's
or-
due to busy lives. I think it's due to, like, people no longer like to cleave 7:30 on a Tuesday night out of their schedule every single week.
to watch a Top Gear episode that
Yeah.
aired in Britain a month before and we all watched on YouTube.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Yeah.
Downloads has a little to do with it, but I think too, it's just people live busier, more flexible lifestyles, and they need to fit what their leisure time into what suits them, not to what the TV networks
So
deem.
it's because the TV networks then are still dictating that, people watch television shows when they come home from work at 5 o'clock
Yeah.
and sit down at the family. And
Which now we don't have that. Now families can get on the internet.
Yeah.
They can,
people work weirder hours.
Yeah.
And more of a 24/7 world.
Problem with that is finding the stranger stuff. Because the amount of times you sit down in front of a television, you have no idea what's on, you just flick it on and see what's happening. It's those weird sort of findings of strange programs you wouldn't go to the internet and get, or TiVo, or select. What's going to happen to the programs that don't already have a pre-established desire for them, so someone actually has to go and get them.
See, in America that would be valid. For us, you know exactly what's on. You turn on Channel 9 and it's 2.5 Men.
Yeah, true. Pretty much.
Or a bunch of very
24/7.
arrogant local Channel 9 presenters.
Yeah. Or Daryl Summers attempting another remake.
Yeah, but if you had nothing but video on demand, after a while you wouldn't know what was on. There wouldn't be anything on.
Yeah.
And so where would you find your new programming?
Because if you're right, if you only had video on demand, you wouldn't seek out as many new things as you do. You just stumble upon.
Well, do you think so? I think we're missing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that the entire industry is changing. The current TV economic schedule is built on a standard that was set 50 years ago, before the internet, before set-top boxes and things like TiVo. Now we've got new technologies that mean that we're going to have to change the way we program TV.
Yeah, I see the problem with them switching over to on demand, and they kind of have to. I mean, because people, people are just gonna are busy, as Paul was saying.
But you have to do that in a way that's economically viable. You need advertising and some kind of funding in some way.
This is going to be what we pay subscriptions for a Channel 9 internet feed, or what?
That is a possible, that could work.
They'll always find a way. I mean, it's. I've always found it surprising that the ad system they have now works for. They do that same system for every show. They even for shows where they could do another system, like variety shows, like the late night talk shows. They could go back to the old style of personal.
Pitching shows within
Which would
pitching
probably be
products
better,
within the show.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of online networks are doing, like people like Revision 3 and stuff. They get their hosts to personally pitch these things. These are products that they use themselves, and that works. And I find it weird that they don't still do that for shows.
But
like
you can't
The
do that on
Tonight
every
Show.
show. If Nathan Fillion and Firefly started talking about hair products in the middle of a Starship battle,
He
that
have
might be a bit distracting.
They do.
It needs to be subtle about it.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do have
placement.
product placement though
Holds it
that
up.
isn't subtle, like in 30 Rock and Arrested Development did it with a big elaborate Burger King joke.
Yeah.
But they work for those shows shows because they're kind of off the wall and
And it's got to be
Some people
within the
still hate
universe.
those,
Yeah.
Like like I've just started watching The American Office, and there's a scene in that where Michael totally over delivers on his Kris Kringle gift because he's obsessed with the temp. Gives him an iPod, and apparently, like it was a $20 limit, he gives an iPod. But apparently it spiked iPod sales in the US. Like iPod sales got a huge rise because the show was doing
Wait,
But that wasn't because
Apple sales
Apple...
can rise. I thought they're already maxed out.
And that's the thing. Apple didn't sanction it.
Yeah.
It was part of the show, part of the show's world.
I don't think we need to be concerned about advertisers finding a way to advertise.
Yeah, they
I think
will.
they're going to be fine. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
They'll
But
take care
it's
of
more
themselves.
about using that to fund creative development of shows.
Yeah.
The problem
And
lies
they'll
with the
always
TV
find a way.
networks.
Sorry?
The problem lies with the TV networks. They're going to have to find a way to adapt to, on-demand programming.
They're going to have to give us choice.
They already
It's as
have
simple as
that style. I mean, like with digital set-top boxes, they can pretty much be the internet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's no reason that
They're so
they
incredibly
should
close.
stick to
Yeah.
their
But
current
then,
system.
how do you think cable television fits into this?
Well,
It's
it's
just its own
already
separate
digital.
thing.
It's
they
already
should be-
digital. It's going to become one giant amorphous blob. You will have a box at home where all of your
It'll sit in front of the
entertainment
blob,
comes
yeah.
from. Whether you call it a television or a computer or whatever, it will
Yeah.
become the same thing.
Yeah.
You just order your programming.
It's funny how you talk about discovering shows, though, because I discover shows in a completely different way. I haven't sat in front of a TV, turned on a show and gone, wow, this is interesting,
No, I
for
haven't
about
done it
10 or
anymore
12
either.
years.
Yeah, I haven't done that either.
All of my stuff is internet or friends or whatever, and then I'll pick it up on DVD later on.
What about
Like The
technology?
American Office, my girlfriend is a huge fan, and she recommended it, and she said, I've got to show you this, and then
But
we
how
started
did she
watching
find
it.
it?
Same way, because I think that's a good question. But but not through television. It's
But would you-
because who the hell could find that here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was shown at Channel 10 at about 11 o'clock at night.
Would you think you're the majority, though, honestly, of how people watch television? Most people come home.
I think I'm the way it's going.
Oh, that's the thing. I
You're
think
the
all
Future trendsetter.
I am
You
the
are-
future.
Ollie is the future. You heard it here first.
Well, there's
Paul
already
Nelson
technology
is-
to address that. I mean, TiVo already does the thing where it recommends you like this show, you might also
But our
like other
TiVo
shows.
doesn't cut out ads, which is a very big distinction.
Yes, and that's the problem the
Well, they'll
TV
stop
industry has
that.
to face.
They'll stop that. They'll put a...
Yeah. Stop. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, you see it on things like YouTube already. They're managing to get banner ads down the
Yeah.
bottom. They're managing to get pop-ups when certain things come up.
But that's not
I
desirable.
can't wait to sit down and watch Neighbours with banner ads.
Exactly,
coming across
yeah,
the
running
bottom. Won't
across.
that
Sit down
be
and
day?
watch
They will
Neighbours.
find a way. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry to derail, but
Well, okay, I think we're all pretty much in agreement then that television as it is now with commercials is dying or if not dead.
Yeah.
Yes?
It's not just the commercials. I mean, the
Schedule.
commercials bug the crap out of me, but it's also the fact that I miss shows that I want to watch if I try to watch them on TV. I just can't. I don't think that scheduled way anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I might have used to always sat down and watch, my cartoons at 5 or whatever,
Yeah.
or my,
Well, that's
But that's 'cause it was your only option.
Yeah.
I think I can summarise this. For the consumer, on-demand programming is fantastic. We just need to make it work on the
For the
industry
people that
side.
make-
And you know they will.
Yeah, they will. I mean,
They'll find a way.
It's
They'll
just
find a
how
way to
the-
make
yeah.
money off it.
Yeah.
Poor saps. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there at that segment because, it seems like a logical place to
Yeah.
leave it at.
The future.
Yes. Looking to the future,
Yes,
boldly.
Looking to Paul.
10 years from now, this topic will be moot.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, 5 years.
And then we
from
can do the
now, I
reunion
reckon.
show for this when we
Yeah.
debate, if it's all gone to hell or not.
It's actually become moot in the time.
Okay. Okay. Well, scores are interesting, so I think we're going to go to the quiz section now.